I've been with Al Jazeera for about 10 years, but before that I didn't really work in journalism as such. I was working more in production, so production of films. I lived in Montreal for a very long time, so I worked on a lot of productions there as well. And Al Jazeera was just a little bit of a chance happening. It wasn't something I planned. I just went there and I applied and I got in. And I started as a researcher. So in 10 years I moved from researcher to producer to senior producer. So I didn't study journalism at all. I studied environmental sciences and geography. So completely different.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a very complicated story. It's originally I'm Palestinian. But then I grew up all over the place. So we grew up in Lebanon, and then the civil war broke out. So we went to the Gulf countries, and then Dubai and Qatar. And then from there I went to Montreal. And I lived there for a very long time. And then I went back to the Middle East. So my first job was a researcher on a program called Every Woman. It was a really great program, very innovative, very interesting, because what we were doing was looking at women's issues and women's stories, but from a very different perspective. And I also did some documentaries, reports, but longer reports, rather than documentaries. So I did one on Zimbabwean refugees in South Africa. I worked on one in Gaza, looking at the drug problems that a lot of people have because of the situation there. I went and did one on education in conflict zones, so we filmed in, again, Gaza, Afghanistan and Kabul, and in Iraq. The reason why I came to FIFA last year was I did a web documentary called Life on Hold. And Life on Hold was looking at the lives of 10 Syrian refugees living in Lebanon. So, attending all the keynotes and getting to know people from all different parts of the world that are doing similar things. I find these kinds of festivals are great to get ideas, but also meet people and hopefully, maybe potentially work with different people that you meet at a festival. She had an organization called Women Journalists Without Chains. And she's a very strong woman, and she was already, when I met her, she was already challenging many concepts, many ideas, and especially in a country like Yemen where it's conservative. I'm not going to say very conservative, but it's hard for a lot of people to have their voices heard. So I met her there, and we did a little story with her, which was really good. When I saw that she was arrested, I got in touch with her again, and I said, what are you up to? What's happening? And she said, look, we're in the midst of this revolution. And I said, would you mind if I came and filmed with you? And she was happy to do it. So we shot it all in about 3 days, which was very difficult on a small handy cam so that we don't draw attention to ourselves. But yeah, at the time she was an inspiring woman. She's very strong and people follow her. So yeah, that was the story.